a second, because like where I was consulting that a few years ago, they had that, and a lot of people were liking it because, let's put it this way, when you do tabletop exercises, no one wants to hear that a disgruntled employee, employee stole like a city bus, packed it full of dynamite like a crazed redneck, and lit the fuses like 10 seconds before crashing into the building. No one was in the building but like the upper management, because it was like a special Saturday that they had to come in and work, and they were in the process of moving the building to the new site, to a much bigger building, and doing some additional work. And they all got blown up. And now you have to have, execute, pieces of the business plan. You need to promote people in IT management to CTO, and they need to take over duties and then find the documents and what documents of the vendors, and start reaching out to them and say, hey, we're still auditing our agreements, but, no one likes to do those tabletop exercises, or like, hey, we have a tornado that come hit us, or a hurricane, or earthquake, Osama bin blah blah blah, decided to go to our, Israeli site office and blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
How do we recover that office? So, no one likes to do some of the business continuity planning, but it's sort of a must. It's like, if something bad happens to you, it's sort of like the business's last will and testament, or at least, hey, how do we keep operating and keep continuing? So like if the guy who founded the place has a legacy to leave his kids, and keep your kids fed and all that good stuff, and not just go like bankrupt and like not pay everybody. So they have all the usual stuff in there. They'll do their due diligence on candidate hiring. They'll do their employee agreements and policies, onboarding, transfers, and termination processes. There's vendor and consultants agreements, but they'll be like who your contacts are and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But tabletop exercises is kind of key to that. Like, there's also security through obscurity. The last time I took the CISSP was Septet. Also, one of the things that was on there was this. Design principles of a building, like, using different stuff to make natural surveillance, as well as basically keeping the pretty architecture, because if the building looks pretty, people are less likely to do, crime against it. It's well lit and stuff like that. But like, you can, basically keeps people less likely to commit crime. It's well lit. It's secured and maintained. Like, their building is on a hill. They shred documents and stuff like that. Like, if you've seen the grounds, like they'll have like trees. The first ring of trees is 5 meters from the door. The other ones, like down the hill, they'll be at 10 meters, 30 meters, and stuff like that, using Septet design. So like, that'll be one of the elements, basically. Like, if you have a building or like even a military base, different architecture elements that you can do to improve the space. Like, it'll tell you like low risk and high risk. Like, these, can make it look pretty, but it also makes it less likely that someone's going to approach because they don't want to trip over the stuff and stuff like that, or steal your packages. But like, the other elements of architecture design is like, they'll put, like, literally at HPE, there'll be trees at certain rings. Like, if an intruder, like if you have an active shooter that's outside, you can basically look at the trees and then basically, eyeball it. Like, the security guards know that like the third or fourth rows of trees is 50 meters out. or 100 or so many yards out. So let's say it's a hidden security feature using CISSP, which some may cover in your PMBOK, which I don't know if they gave you that in a paper copy or a like electronic copy.
I think so far all we've got is the slides,
Yeah,
which are 250 slides. So, I mean,
okay.
If you log on to the Sprintzeal website, they also have the 7 tests with the final exam.
Yeah, that didn't. They, as I said, they kind of threw me this one at the last second as usual. So, my
Yeah, I
sister
have their
involved
site. They send out the training slides. There's also the material on their website, and 6 practice exams, with the final being the 7th one. This is Donnie, by the way.
cool. Thanks,
Okay.
Donnie. That's good info. I hadn't checked there.
Yeah, as I said, like this, the CISSP, they gave me the last boot camp school here in town gave me the CISSP exam online as like the boot camp, style exam sim, since you could keep repeating it online and save the results. But yeah,
It looks like
septet.
their answer to the pandemic, because I was looking to do person view. I'm at Fort Gordon, Georgia, and I was looking for a boot camp so that I could get into it, as obviously trying to change professions, because being 30 years retired military and working with networks and communications capabilities for a long time, CISSP seems to increase your value.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does, because basically, I was getting stuck on like hell desk roles, and it's just like, I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
it's like, I'm sorry, I have
Yeah.
like a bachelor's degree in information security. It's like it's like, I was a petroleum engineer, and I got asthma from doing it in the military. So
Wow.
let's put it that way.
Yeah, I got
You're
my
gonna
Sec
have.
Plus, Net Plus, and all that stuff, and I thought that would be enough. And then after spending 23 years active duty before I retired, and I've been out for about 7 years now, I discovered that the jobs just weren't quite as lucrative as I had hoped they would be after all those years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they tend
Yeah.
to. Yeah, the security domain tends to be much more lucrative. The other place too is like NPower can get you some certs, but they'll only get you like the basic certs. Like the NPower loves veterans, they'll get you like your A plus network and all of them for free. So, but there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a definite significant difference, not just pay, but I'm at the home of R Cyber and NSA, so I'm tired of being a cyberspace electromagnetic activities instructor. Been doing that for 2.5 years, so it's time to move up, and I'm working on finishing my degree in cyberspace or cybersecurity management and policy. So
There you go.
Yeah, I mean
Get into policy compliance. That's the way to go.
yeah, I've
policy and
been diving into
compliance.
NIST more than I ever cared to read and learn, and learning about PCI and all of the things that the corporate world deals with on a regular basis as far as their compliance capabilities and what they need to know and what they need to do. And it looks like there's a shortage of people to say, hey, non-disclosure agreements are a thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying compliance isn't necessarily security, but it certainly helps. It helps on
Right.
posture. But, Tempest and, like I imagine you could give a good talk on Tempest, so I don't have to probably delve much there. Because, yeah, I had instructors that could go into depth on Tempest, but then they'd have to kill you. So let's just say that Shop wanted to come shop the school that I went to for undergrad. Okay, yeah, after getting hurt in the military and then blowing out the same knee in the National Guard, I was like, oh, Shop's coming to here. Yeah, I totally want to go to the farm, and no, thank you. But anyways, there'll be like, compliance policy requirements, onboarding, blah, 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 all the nice usual stuff there. Identify threats and vulnerabilities, risk analysis, risk response, and countermeasures and selection, controls. And I don't have to probably preach to you, Donnie, over the lovely factors of NIST.
Yeah, the frameworks are amazing. Global frameworks at that.
CIS, it's like I've kind of gotten lazy. It's like, especially since a lot of places are cloud, like especially for cloud security, because I can apply most of the NIST controls with CIS and not have to care, and I can script it.
Well, the cloud is starting to cause a lot of problems because it's not what we do know or what's authorized, it's what's not authorized and where people are storing information.
It's usually developers using DevOps crap and not checking their work, but they don't even use CIS to make sure that their test benches are hardened, and then basically they'll promote the test bench to production, and then that's where the problems lie. The machine, it's you don't have to care so much when it's in non-production, but then they didn't bother stigging it. So now that the machine is not stigged, when they go into production, it leaks like a screen door on a submarine. And then all the secrets get in and out.
Yeah, people's paychecks are out there on the Dropbox.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems we're running into with third-party cloud-based infrastructure. People are using it to store everything because they want to work from home, so they just load it up to one of the cloud-based capabilities, whether it's authorized or approved or not. And next thing you know, people's social security numbers and everything are out there floating in the cloud.
Well, I mean, you have the risk of shadow IT, which is part of your risk frameworks.
Absolutely.
So that's basically the, risk response. I mean, there's legit uses for your personal Dropbox on the company laptop, i.e. you need to fetch some personal documents like a resume or your nice shiny DD-214, and then after that you should cut it loose. But a lot of people will try and use it for everything that the company won't let them do, which is in the right. But what I was referring to is much larger data leaks like AWS. They won't stig stuff or lock stuff down, and so you get, AWS leak. Because
it's very easy to misconfigure it. Yeah.
Yes,
I've been doing AWS stuff for years, and that's a big problem.
I'm just saying, like, CIS hardening scripts can, at least give some level of protection. There's also tools for doing stigging and locking down. There's also multi-cloud dashboards that do compliance checks and/or hardening, and/or additional hardening, and/or additional privilege checks, especially useful for AWS and/or Azure, because a lot of companies are multi-cloud. Like certain more paranoid companies of the shaken and not stirred variety, and/or good buddies that Fort doesn't exist, or the Pentagon, they may use AWS for all the nice, cutesy stories they want to publish on the blog, but stuff that they really, really care about, they're not publishing. It's on the private internal cloud, usually on VMware, and classified and segmented and locked down. Wonder how I know about those. I said, I wonder how
I have no idea.
Yeah, I wonder how I know about those.
Yeah.
I've never worked at Fort. I've never worked in Montana to save my life.
Yeah. Working at Fort Gordon, Georgia is its own entity in itself, that's for sure.
I can
a lot
either confirm
of the companies I've been working for have moved to Kubernetes on site and off of VMware.
Yeah, or sometimes
which is a whole nother security nightmare.
Or in some cases, even VMware is allowing you to run, Kubernetes workloads or Docker on ESXi.
Yeah. Very slowly, yes.
But yeah, I can neither confirm nor how fun Fort Gordon is. At the time I was in the military, I was going to go for, they had found me an intelligence slot and then they'd screwed up. And then I went to petroleum supply because they said there was a huge hiring bonus. Then I started getting asthma from being around the caustic chemicals. And
Oof.
then they found that out when I fucked up my knee. I was like, I was running after a hurricane and the road basically got underwashed where I was running, and then the pavement just snapped through, and then my leg telescoped straight on down like a twig. Ouch.
Ouch.
So basically, they would have sent me to like,